I decided to try to jump into one of these more complex kits, and been a long time since I dealt with basswood and cutting and painting all this stuff. So it's been a little bit of a challenge, especially just the fine details that it does. So, so this is where I'm at with it right now. I'm trying to light it up so that it meets kind of one of the requirements for the golden spike issue. And then just kind of put some details on the inside of it. There's a couple of toolkits, some fueling things, and then some posters on the wall. And I got put some lighting over the front of it and some lighting on the inside of it. Then I did build a base for it and been working on the base, and finally got the fencing in and kind of some concrete, and there's an awning that'll have to go in here, and then some other details that are on the front of the kit. Like if you look at the that kit, it's got kind of the service department thing, and then the stairs and all that. That's all done. I just want to make sure it's mounted, and I've got the electrical and everything in there correctly. I ordered some shingles from bar mills, and then ordered the ridge caps for the garage cover there, and those haven't got here yet. So the back side of it, and then did do a little bit on the inside with putting some details on it. It's not going to be called Graham's, it's going to be called Vito's motorcycle places, after one of my employees that has a motorcycle shop. And just a little bit, did put a floor in there. That was a floor sample that I shot from the depot in Pueblo, and then shrunk it down and was able to print it, kind of mount it on a piece of wood to make the floor in there. And then I'll put some motorcycles in the countertop and everything in there. It does come with its own set of motorcycles. These are the two that I painted so far. And, they also make these where you can get so I've kind of, I'll use the pre-painted ones and the factory box ones that to put on the outside. And then I'll put these where I, kind of copied the coloring scheme off of a couple of them. That powder blue is a little, there's a kind of a royal blue one that comes in the regular version of it, but I'll put those on the inside so that it'll look like, there's some stuff on the showroom floor. So that's really it. This has been kind of the project of the month, and working on a little bit of weathering powder on the roof assembly there. So get ready to mount a couple of ventilation caps and a stovepipe in there. And then hopefully, I've had some trouble with these lighting systems from Woodland Scenic, so I've got to get a new master controller in here and see if they'll work right, because some of them will light up, some of them won't. But yeah, when you test them, they all seem like they're fine. So, but that's it. Like I said, on complex kit, and hopefully I can get it down there to have somebody kind of just go through the judging. I don't anticipate it's going to get 120 something, but I just like to go through the process once before I start getting into more detailed kits to do these things.
Great. Couple of suggestions. If you could, Bruce, come back to that overall one, or your one of yours that shows an overall view of the structures. Can you do that? Yeah, because it's nice knowing, if this is great for a golden spike structure. If you want to take it a little further to see about how it would judge on a merit basis, and Sean, you can correct me here and there too, because you do such great detail kits. But one of the things that they'll look for is in your building is a bathroom stack. So one would assume that probably there's a bathroom in there someplace, and so just a simple piece of tubing over where you think the bathroom is going to be, but that's a prototype thing that for some reason they really like to look for. And so a piece of styrene rod, a piece of brass rod or whatever, painted up and weathered.
Yeah,
Um,
the kit actually came with a bathroom stack that I got painted gray, and it'll go in that flat section on the back roof where I was doing the weathering powder.
okay. Okay. So because forever there's going to be that's one of the things. The other thing, is I'm glad you redid your sign. That's super because that's a scratch building kind of thing. And the more scratch building you can put into a laser kit, the better it's liked in that regard. The fence, I don't know if that's a kit or structure or something, but again, fence is a straightforward thing to scratch build. Uh, but again, what they're judging when they look at merit judging for the structure is just the structure itself and not just the base. So whatever you can add on or attach to the building, or there's a reason that I used to put so many figures on a porch because the porch was attached to the building. And when they're judging for detail, they uh, uh, judging for detail, the quantitative thing for detail. So the more things that you can put in, and printing your own signs, even those paper signs on the walls and so forth. If you find them and print them and scale them, to me that can count as scratch uh, built as well. Um, uh, I really liked what you did with the floor, and of course, if you could get at it to put in more detail inside, even if it's something simple. I've made counters out of pieces of strip wood just to, uh, you know, uh, uh, 1/8 inch square strip wood, or sometimes to put a counter right behind one of the windows that you can put detailed parts in on it, like it's a window display shelf or things, and that would garner more points on merit judging. Um, so those are just some kind of thing about that. Uh, Blocking the windows you've done, I think that looks good. And then just the weathering. And if you do put it on the base like this, make sure that it doesn't look like it's floating on the base. So, and obviously it's not complete yet. I'm just throwing these things out because I know what people have told me when they look at my stuff. And I took a diorama to the last convention for the second time for this diorama because uh, it didn't have a backdrop, and I was getting it judged for scenery, not as a structure. So it was a little different thing. But this last time they dinged me as well because my roof on one structure was not as weathered as the other roofs. And the fact that somebody could replace a roof, and so you could have roofs of various ages, didn't seem to hold any water, and so it didn't get a merit award for scenery for that reason. But just to finish up too, there is a really good uh, clinic now that just came out on YouTube, and it's Dwayne Richardson, who is a well-known structure builder. He and his dad, you may have met Paul and Dwayne or went to one of their clinics at a national. Uh, and I'm trying to think of the group that put it out. It might have been Off the Beaten Track. Yeah, I don't think it was the NMRA Bruce, but it just came out, and I'll look for it and send you a link on that. But Dwayne, is a judge supreme, and he talks about different prototype things that you should try and make sure you've covered on that. So, and I'm liking this. This is a really neat, and I like the layout of it as well with the angles. I think that's great. So anyway, I'll shut up.
Yeah, I was gonna. I need to do some more roof assembly work. Put some patchwork up there, and and seal it around the corners there once I get the interior kind of put in. Like I said, I plan on putting a couple motorcycles in the interior there, like it's a showroom, and I'll put some people in there looking at it. The kit came with some fires and a trash can, and then I've got from the innovative design, I got the more interior deluxe stuff for the shop. I need to put, there'll be some tires on the outside and trash can, and I'll put some more figures in it. And I didn't this isn't really set here just right yet, because I want to make sure the lighting works before I go ahead and put it in there, and then I'll build it up a little bit so that it sits on something. The fence was part of the kit. They kind of gave you the freedom to kind of put it in however you wanted to, but and then I put some static grass on it and stuff. I kind of plan on putting a little motorcycle course out in the back there, maybe having some people, if I can find motorcycle riders, and put them out in the back there. I've got some cones that I've got, and was going to put a little cone course back there with an instructor teaching people how to ride. Yeah. And then,
oh, that's a great idea.
And then, like I said, it still has an exterior strip I'll put on it, and like I said, I'll hopefully have all this mounted on here. And then, like I said, I don't expect it to pass completely on a merit, but I'd just be curious about some of the other in there.
Yeah, well, these are certainly things you can think of. My other thought that just came to me was a gas pump or a fuel tank, one of those horizontal fuel tanks up on a stand.
Yeah, they sent a casting with that I've kind of painted as brown, and then I've got the holders on it. I just got to weather it a little bit more and make it look dirty.
Well, this is exciting to see. I appreciate you showing it.
Yeah, that's an interesting building, like the back annex thing, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and JL Innovative makes some really, really nice kits, and they are really good with cast details and pre-painted or pre-decaled kinds of cast details as well, and they're a fun thing. So cool.
So it would count as for Golden Spike, right? And then and then if you did that, you can still upgrade it to get judged for your merit, right?
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely, and and as I say, I'll try and find that Dwayne Richardson's clinic on that, but it was quite well. I don't always agree with everything he says, but I think he did it. It's a great clinic, and certainly he and his late dad, were the gurus in narrow gauge contest judging.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right.